The history of black individuals or populations in Japan is a complex and multifaceted topic. While Japan is often considered a homogeneous society with predominantly East Asian population, it's essential to recognize that Japan has had interactions with various cultures and peoples throughout its history. The presence of black individuals or populations in Japan can be traced back to ancient times through historical records, albeit in relatively small numbers. Recognizing Japan's diverse history. The early history of Japan is incredibly interesting, and it's worth noting that our understanding of it has evolved over time. Initially, people believed that Japan didn't have any Paleolithic occupations, but after World War II, many archaeological sites were discovered across the country. These sites have revealed a wide range of Paleolithic tools. Some were created by chipping stones, while others were created by working with flakes broken off of larger stones. These discoveries represent Japan's ancient Stone Age findings. What's particularly interesting is that it's widely accepted that these individuals who used these tools likely migrated to Japan from the Asian continent. Japan's prehistoric and ancient history spans from around 35,000 BC to 538 AD, with distinct periods: the Paleolithic period, the Jomon period, the Yayoi period, and the Kofun period. The earliest humans in Japan lived during the Stone Age or Paleolithic period. They laid the foundation for the Jomon culture, which is one of the world's oldest societies. The Jomon people were known for hunting, gathering, making tools, shaping pottery with distinctive rope patterns, and crafting jewelry from various materials like shells, stones, bones, and antlers. Around 300 BC, a significant shift occurred with the emergence of rice farming and development of metallurgy involving iron and bronze. This era, lasting until 250 AD, is known as the Yayoi period, which means new life. It's named after an area in Tokyo where artifacts from this period were found. This accumulated evidence strongly suggests that the first people in Japan had African origins. Did you know about Japan's Paleolithic period before this? A cultural bond between Japan and Africa. Over the years, various written works have explored the presence of Africans in the early history of Japan. In 1923, anthropologist Roland B. Dixon wrote that Japan's earliest population was a mixture of Proto-Australoid and Proto-Negroid types. These early Japanese people shared similarities with the ancient population that extended from Japan's coast all the way south through Indochina and beyond to India. Dixon also noted that in Japan, characteristics of the ancient Negrito element could still be observed. These characteristics included both external features like a dark skin tone and osteological traits, which relate to the scientific study of bone structure in individuals or species. But why did Dixon think that the early Japanese people had traits from both Africa and Southeast Asia? What clues did he find? In 1987, former Senegalese President Léopold Sédar Senghor noted that the contemporary population of Japan is descended from black individuals. He emphasized that the earliest inhabitants of Japan were black, and they contributed the first language to Japan. In 1940, Joel Augustus Rogers, a prominent scholar from 1883 to 1966 who played a significant role in popularizing African history, dedicated several pages in the first volume of his work, Sex and Race, to discussing the black presence in early Japan. He cited the research of accomplished scholars and anthropologists, even raising the question of whether the first Japanese were Negroes. Rogers and others pointed out that there is a noticeable Negro stain in a specific segment of the Japanese population, particularly in the southern regions. This is recognizable through characteristics like dark or blackish skin and frizzy or curly hair, which indicate a Negroid aspect. Furthermore, it's been established that the Negritos, considered the oldest race in the Far East, once lived in eastern and southern China, as well as in Japan, where traces of the Negrito element are still identifiable in the population today. Modern-day evidence of African presence. In present times, we can explore whether there is any lingering evidence of the scientific citations suggesting an African presence in modern-day Japan. The question is, are there any black Japanese individuals among us today? The answer is yes, there are. Some Japanese individuals have very dark skin and hair that naturally forms an afro, while celebrities like Ariana Miyamoto and Crystal Kay, as well as sports stars like Oscar Cambridge, have been mentioned as examples They may not fully illustrate this evidence because they often have non-Japanese names and are fluent in English, giving them an international image. Have they influenced societal perceptions of beauty and identity in the country? The Black presence in early Japan goes beyond genetics. It resonates deeply with the historical and cultural connection between the Japanese and Africans. This connection can be seen as a beautifully shared bond that aligns with the beliefs of the Japanese people. It's a unique harmony that's existed throughout history, leaving a lasting imprint on the Japanese community. Sakanuye Tamuramaro, a symbol of bravery. One of the most notable figures from this era is Sakanuye no Tamuramaro, a renowned warrior in Japanese history. He is celebrated as a symbol of military excellence and is revered for his bravery. Tamuramaro's story has captivated the attention of distinguished scholars in the 20th century America, highlighting the significant impact of the Black presence on Japan's collective history and culture. One of the earliest scholars to take a note of Sakanuye Tamuramaro was Alexander Francis Chamberlain, an anthropologist born in England and brought to America as a child. In 1911, the Journal of Race Development published Chamberlain's essay titled "The Contribution of the Negro to Human Civilization." In a candid and matter-of-fact manner, Chamberlain highlighted the African presence in early Asia, specifically mentioning Japan, where he stated that Tamuramaro, a renowned general, was of African descent. Did you know that in November 1940 issue of the Negro History Bulletin, artist and illustrator Louis Milo Jones contributed an article titled "Sakanuye Tamuramaro"? In her piece, Jones noted that historians suggest a significant presence of Africans in Asia, extending from countries bordering the Indian Ocean to as far east as Japan. She highlighted that Japan was once referred to as Tipango, and one of its most prominent historical figures was a Negro warrior named Sakanuye Tamuramaro. Similar themes were echoed in 1946 in a book titled "Distinguished Negroes Abroad" by Beatrice J. Fleming and Marion J. Pride, which included a chapter dedicated to the Negro General of Japan, Sakanuye Tamuramaro. In 1989, Dr. Mark Hyman authored a booklet titled "Black Shogun of Japan," where he unequivocally stated that Sakanuye Tamuramaro was of African descent, emphasizing his significant role as a Japanese shogun and a great military leader. Furthermore, in the 1991 publication, The World of Sakanuye no Tamuramaro, James E. Brunson, author of Black Jade, The African Presence in the Ancient East, stressed the importance of exploring all aspects of the African presence in the Far East to fully comprehend the world in which Sakanuye Tamuramaro lived. These historical references collectively underscore the recognition of the African presence in Japan's history, particularly through figures like Sakanuye Tamuramaro, and invite us to delve deeper into the rich tapestry of this shared heritage. The extensive list of testimonials from informed and reputable scholars worldwide regarding the Black legend of Japan is abundant, shedding light on the outstanding individuality of figures like Sakanuye Tamuramaro. Scholars like Joel Augustus Rogers briefly mentioned Tamuramaro in their works, recognizing his significance in Japanese history as a paragon of military virtues. The intriguing Japanese proverb that suggests samurai bravery is linked to having a bit of black blood adds depth to this narrative. Tamuramaro's daring martial exploits as a samurai in early Japan were exceptional. With a strength of over 100 men, he was a formidable warrior who left a profound mark on history. His unmatched speed, agility, and battlefield prowess made him appear as if he were multiple warriors in one. During the Heian period, he played an unmatched role as a guardian of the royal court and the imperial palace, contributing significantly to the consolidation of power in early Japan. He played a crucial role in subduing the Amish people and establishing control over the northeastern region. Sakanuye no Tamuramaro is regarded as the originator of the renowned samurai class, setting a high standard for professional warriors in both battle and peace. His legacy is celebrated in Japanese culture, with stories, legends, and artistic representations immortalizing his exploits. The history of Black individuals in Japan uncovers a captivating tapestry of diverse cultures and peoples. From the ancient origins traced through archaeological discoveries to the recognition of figures like Sakanuye Tamuramaro, it's a narrative that challenges conventional perceptions. So how does acknowledging this rich history of cultural exchange and diversity in Japan shape our understanding of the global heritage? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more engaging historical journeys.